Concepts related to software project management, project communication management, and software quality assurance. These two are one of very important factors related to project management. First of all, we will discuss project communication management. Initially, once we are defining a project, we want to develop a communication plan. Now, what is communication? First of all, before we are starting a communication plan, we should have understanding about what is communication. Communication is flow of information that needs to share with whom, how you share it. Now, there are a few concepts that you want to emphasize in here. With whom you are going to share, with whom you are going to share, how you share it. There are different mechanisms to share it, and what is the content. Now this is the other important factor. What is the content that you are going to share? Now whenever you are communicating, it might be verbal, it might be using some graphics, or it might be some signs. Somehow you are communicating with some another person. In that type of communication, whenever you are doing a communication, whatever the type you are doing the communication, you should know with whom, who is the other end, who is the person that is absorbing your communication, who is willing to grab your information. Now you are transferring some information from yourself to another person. So if you are sharing some important information, if you are communicating an important information with a very important person or VIP person, what is the strategy that you are going to discuss? You should like very small and compress, and like crisp and clear communication should be there. If you are doing some sort of kind of a report, it should be thoroughly enough to expand your information. The other end should be understand what is the content in here, right? So it depends on with whom you are going to share and how you are going to share it. We will discuss about some sort of communication methodologies or communication mechanisms existing in here. Then you can understand how you are share. It might be a presentation, it might be an essay, it might be a kind of like speech, or it might be a picture. Still you can share a lot of things. One picture can share like 1,000 words at a glance. It might be a graph. That's the mechanism that you are going to share it. And what's the content? Now important factor is the content. Whenever you are communicating with someone else, so it should be relevant content for the other end. It should be appropriate for the context. It should be like clear to the other end. So what's the content that you are going to share? What is the information that you are going to share? What's the data that you are going to share? So that is communication. So you have to consider about with whom, how, and what is the content. In such flow of information is known as communication. And once it comes to an effective communication, there are few important factors are there. It should be clear, it should be relevant, it should be updated, and it should be honest. Now I will go through these factors one by one. What do you mean by clear communication? Clear communication means no glitches in your communication. What is the meaning of that? Is you are sharing the precise information, only the required information, not the whole thing that you know. Some people like, if you go for a presentation, there might be some irrelevant communication. It's not clear because the flow is not clearly defined. So clear means it should be like very clear. Clear means like a flow should be there. And the other point, relevant to the audience or relevant to the person who is absorb your information, grab your information, get your information, whatever the word. It should be relevant. Irrelevant information might be cause for a huge problem because the other end should read some unwanted stuff. They are spending their time and they are like into trouble at the end of the day. What is this? They asking the question, what is this? Why this person is shared with me? Some irrelevant information is sharing. Once it comes to especially like a company, managers might share some sort of information that is irrelevant for you. Even I have experienced that. So as a project manager, your responsibility is to share the relevant information, only the relevant information, not all the information that is not meant to reduce the information. If something is required, one of your colleague, you should share that information. I'm not telling like keep something secretly or secret information. No, it's not the thing. You should share only the relevant information. There are some important things that you should not share with the other ones. That's the important factor in this relevant information related to effective communication. Then updated. Now if you are speaking very old story to someone else, it might be read by that person, so it's not updated information. So while you are doing an effective communication, if you are presenting something, it might be an essay, it might be a verbal communication like a presentation, whatever the stuff, it should be an updated information. Unless what would be happen, it might be get boring because I have already known this. So the audience might realize I have already known this information. Why this person is sharing that information? Now, especially once it comes to public speaking, it's really hard to find the real updated people. Sometimes there might be people who don't know anything, but there might be some situations very updated people in that same cluster. So once it comes to a public speaking, the best possible is find the latest updated, like at least 50%. What's the level of update in your audience? At least the 50%. What is the latest update? Sometimes like if I'm discussing about like cricket, if you speak like with me something related to cricket, my latest update in 1996 World Cup. So if someone is like to speak with me in latest update, so the best possible starting point is after 1996, after World Cup, Arjun Ranatunga. That's the last point. I have no idea after that. So the best possible point to start, if you are the project manager, if you are the person who is speaking with me, then the latest information that I would get is after 1996. It might be 2020, 2000, like 2000, 2004. Sometimes there might be a World Cup. I'm not sure. Like some sort of information. That's my latest update. But there might be another person who is really updated. Even last cricket match happened in Sri Lanka. It might be in Ketaram or somewhere. I'm not sure. Like it might be the latest update. So if you are speaking with that person, you should arrange your communication with that person to join with that person. That means if not, it might be get boring. So I just want to clear you. If you are speaking with a person under the effective communication, you should understand what is the level of current update of your audience. It might be the latest update might be 1996, or it might be the latest update of last month. It depends on your cluster or the audience. This one might be same updated information might be applicable for your industry. Some companies I personally know, still they are using very old technologies. Even recently they are starting to migrate their projects to Java, which was happened like last decade. There are companies like in Sri Lanka, I personally know, still they are migrating the projects into Java. Still they are might using Oracle forms and stuff. I'm not telling they are bad, right? I'm not telling they are bad, but that is the latest update. If you are speaking like cutting edge of technology like augmented reality, then they will realize you are speaking something else, not in this world. And if you are proposing a face recognition system, they might think this is irrelevant for the community. So you should match with their perspectives or the latest update of themselves, right? Unless it might be a problem. That's why effective communication is really required. Updated information should be there. Updated information means not the latest information. The latest information that who is willing to grab your information, where the point that the person is updated, lastly updated. It might be a person who don't know anything related to cricket, even 1996. So you should start the very beginning, whatever this point. Clear? Now that is the updated situation of a effective communication. Then honest. Honest means you should not disguised as something important, something that really not important, some information that is not really important at all. But some companies, they are sharing, like especially like managers do share some irrelevant, dishonest information, I personally know, to get their promotion. And what happens at the end of the day, the company might get into a huge problem, huge trouble, because they believe that communication is correct or it's honest. So all the time, whatever the thing that you are sharing, it should be honest. It should be the truth. If you don't know, what you can do, I'll get back to you soon as possible. I'll check and let you know, because no one is having all the information. No one in the world. If a professor in computer science might don't know anything related to sociology, a professor in sociology might don't know how to open a simple web browser and do some stuff, some sort of work. There might be a situation, because no one in the world is perfect. No one can learn everything, right? That's the situation. So whenever, if you are communication, like especially once it comes to an effective communication, your information should be honest, strong honest. It should be not partial honest. It should be strong honest, good enough and strongly you should tell to them. Now this is the communication and the features of effective communication. So if you are feeling like something that is not clear, some people like speaking very fast. Even myself, if it is not a lecture, I would speak little bit fast. Sometimes people would get something, it's not clear, can you repeat me please? Like such situations are happening to me even initially once I've started. Now whenever today I'm delivering a lecture, it might be like slow, it might be too slow for someone, really sorry for that, but The situation is, to make it clear, there should be some sufficient spaces. Unless like the audience, if they don't know anything, they might get corrupted. That's my experience. So that's the effective communication of the clear and relevant as well as updated and honest. Project communication is recurrent activity throughout the project. So once you communicated, you have sent an email, you will get a reply. You will get a reply. It's a recurrent activity. Daily stand-ups. It's a recurrent activity. It's a communication through continuously. The Kanban boards, recurrent communication. We have discussed about this Kanban board and daily stand-up and stuff. So these are recurrent activities. Sending an email, it might be a presentation at the initially, and sometimes it might be the 25%, it might be 50%, 75, or at the end of the project. Different activities related to this communication should be have like it might be a recurrent activity. It's a recurrent activity. Now, what are the types of communication? First one is meetings. Now, very popular in these days because face-to-face communication is really hard. Face-to-face communication is really hard. The meetings are virtual meetings available. Chats are virtual chats. So this should be happen in this world. Why we are going to a special location to do our job? No need, as per my perspective. If we can deliver the work from our home, no need to go to a specific place and do that work. I think if you are going for a lecture, you have to prepare yourself for 2 hours and travel another 1 hour and sit 3 hours in the lecture and back to your place. It might be all day, but once it comes to virtual learning, you might just spend 3 hours or 2 hours within the lecture. You are not specially preparing for your self for the lecture. You just take your laptop and sit in front of that. That's it. You switch on the internet, then everything is done. That's it, right? So especially comes into current trending, the meetings are virtual. So it might be a physical meeting, it might be a virtual meeting somehow. This is a communication mechanism. And chats. It might be a face-to-face discussion, it might be a chat. You know what's a chat? And emails. Emails are like official communication. These are not something like we are getting as per the law 1996 or something. Like we are not writing that kind of things in our emails, but these are official communication mechanisms. Because once you send an email, that means you are authorized person to share that information with someone else, and you are confident enough to share that information with someone else. Now that's an email. I think everyone shared at least one email now. Calls. Different types of calls are available, like one-to-one calls. Like individually you are discussing with someone else to have a call. Nowadays this is very popular, calls. Now initially, like time back, sometimes like last decade, we don't have like WhatsApp and stuff. Nowadays we just speak through this internet. Internet calls are available. WhatsApp, Viber, that kind of communications are available. Now these calls are mainly focusing on with a non-person, or it might be a specific person that you want to discuss, not with a group. If it is a group, it might be probably a group chat, or it might be a meeting. The next point is written documents. There are a lot of written documents. Time back it might be a paper and pen. Currently the written documents might be your MS Word or a Google Doc or something. It's a written document. Usually those are formal documents. It might be some informal document in your desk to write the important point in this lecture. It's an informal document. But there might be a formal document once it comes to your examination, because you are sharing whatever you have learned. That's a formal documentation. And once it comes to software engineering, software development, lot of formal documents are available. SRS, software requirement specification, or it might be project charter, it might be work breakdown structure. These kinds of documents are formal documents. Now I think no need to discuss about a little bit further. We will develop a simple project communication plan. Now you know what's a communication, and we should develop a communication plan. Now important point is communication plan is like a document that someone who is unaware about this project, or if you want to grab some information, to whom that I'm going to contact, to whom you are going to contact. Especially as a project manager, your responsibility is to share such a document in a single place. It might be your SVN, it might be your Git repo, or it might be some another Google Doc. There might be a situation, right? Especially I would really appreciate once you come to a project manager, please create this document clearly and share with all of your colleagues. It might be a new person, it might be a old person. If your company is not having such kind of a communication plan, please have. Then very effective communication might be there, because if a vehicle wants to travel one place to another place, road should be solid. As exactly same, if the project communication is unclear, or if it is not clear, your project might get lot of problems rather than the other factors. There should be very clear communication. So this is very important document. Majority of the cases, project managers do not focus on this project management plan, communication plan. They just care about the work breakdown, and they just care about the software requirement specification or the charter. But communication is mandatory. Whom you are going to contact for a situation. So lot of people walk around you, send an emails to you, to whom you are contacting. Sometimes they are contacting you as a project manager for something irrelevant. So the best practice is to create a project communication plan as the first point if it is not in your company. Let me share how to create this simple project communication plan. This is not something hard, this is very easy. So this might not get hours to complete, this might get like very few time, but this is very solid. So I'm really appreciate to share. It might be Google Doc, it might be some sort of MS Doc, MS Word, MS Excel Doc, which is hosted in 365. Currently everyone is using like at least Google Doc or 365 Excel sheet, whatever. That's the best thing as per my experience. But if it is like a problem, if your company is protected with those environments, so the best possible is use your code repository as a separate folder, create a separate folder and insert in this document like SVN or Git repo, or it might be some another location wherever your code base is located. Now let me share this activity, then we'll do this activity and as a hands-on experience. You will get this hands-on experience now. Let me log into my mail. I think everyone is know how to create sheet, Google Sheet. So I'm not going to present that. I just create a small blank document first of all. Right. Now, now I'm going to show you how to create a small project communication plan. Now, I think you know I'm in my Google Sheet in here. This is my Google Sheet. It's like exactly same like Excel sheet. The difference is it's hosted by in Google environment rather than I don't feel anything like there might be like functionality wise Microsoft Excel is very robust, but for just for communication this is more than enough. Now whenever comes into this communication plan, what you have to do, you have to initially create your first page, right? I will show you how to do this. What you have to do, you have to uh, have basic information in related to your project. So what can I do? I'll write in here project communication plan. Now everyone is having good understand about this. This is your communication plan. I'm in sheet 1, right? Now next what I'm going to do, I'm going to write the information that is related to or important in the project, such as project title, then the project manager, then the sponsor or your client, whoever the person, then the date that you are arranging this work. Now under the title you have to write your project title. I will write line something. So this is your project title. Then the project manager, you have to write the project manager's name. Then the sponsor, it might be edu.gov. This is Sri Lanka government is sponsoring for this project. So the date is the date that you have started. It might be 23rd of 2nd 2021, whatever day. Please make sure to have your date which is using in your company. It might be the type year first, then month, then whatever, right? So please follow that practice in your company. I just added a date. Then what you have to do, Then you have to add some other information. Deliverables. What are the deliverables? Deliverables means what are the things that you are going to do, right? As an example, it might be the agenda of the project, or it might be the project status. Which kind of deliverables are there? And the people who are going to receive that. Right? Who are going to receive that. That means your project agenda is going to receive project manager, then project team, and client. Agenda of the project. And the project status, it's involving by the project manager and project team. Such kind of things. Now, whenever, if you are communicating these things, these people should receive. It might be an email. If it is an email, these people should get that email. If it is a meeting, you should invite these people for this meeting. I think it's clear, the deliverables and the recipients. And what is the delivery method? How you are going to deliver? Now, the agenda of the project might be a meeting, right? It might be a meeting, and your project status might be sent via an email. Now, this is the delivery method. And the next thing, the schedule. Schedule means when you are going to share this information. At each milestone, we are going to have a meeting in each milestone to have this discussion of the agenda of the project. Then project status, you can have like every day. Every day there should be a project status, right? Now, the last point, who is responsible? Who's responsible? Who is the responsible person to initiate this discussion or the initiate this communication? Now, in this case, the project manager. Project manager is the responsible person. In here, Scrum Master. I'll just write SM, right? Scrum Master. So here after I just like the PM here for project manager and Scrum Master's SM. Now, Scrum Master is responsible to email the project status every day to the project manager and project team. Project manager is responsible to have a meeting on each milestone, at each milestone, to discuss about agenda of the project, and it should be shared with the project manager, project team, and the client. Now, there are a lot of deliverables might be here, the deliverables there, and according to that, different recipients and different mechanisms, schedules, and responsibilities might be there. Now, it's your responsibility to keep this small table very clearly, right? If not, it might be a problem. Now, I like some sort of colors for this, right? Then I'll make it like and this is your plan. This is a very simple plan, but it represents everything. So if something is missing, think your email is not initiated today. Who is the responsible person? The person is Scrum Master. If you want to have a chat, why today you don't have that email received? Who should be the responsible person? You should go to the Scrum Master. You should not go to another person. This is the important factor in here. Now, whenever if you share this project communication plan with your team, everyone is having this understanding. You might get everyday email, there is an discussion or a meeting in each milestone. That kind of information is in here. So this is the overview. There might be a lot of things in here. According to that, you have to fill the communication plan accordingly. Now I'll add another sheet. This is the front sheet to everyone, and there's another sheet I would like to add in here. I have like what we can do is we can have like communication, the type of the communication and the recipients with the more detail. Then we will do that. Now we will have a small table in here. Now here this is overview. Rename as overview. Overview communication. This is the detailed communication. This is the detailed communication. In here, what you can do, you can add the type of communication. What is the type you are delivering? That means the daily stand-up. The daily stand-up. Then the sprint demonstration. The sprint demonstration. Then release plan. That kind of communication. Now in here we will discuss how these communications are following. Then the recipients who are going to receive this information. In here you can have like for the daily stand-up, it might be your development team. And you can add your Scrum Master too. For the sprint demo, for the demonstration, you can have like a team. Just shall I write like DT, development team and Scrum Master and your stakeholders. Stakeholders for the demonstration. And the release planning, you can have like development team. Now these are the people who are received your information. Now if it is a stand-up meeting, you know who needs to involve for this. And then I'll continue the frequency of the discussion. The stand-up is daily. Now it's clear. Now you know it's a daily stand-up meeting. For the sprint demo, it might be like sprint demonstration like 2 weeks bi-weekly. For each and every 14 days that you are going to do a presentation, a demonstration, right? We'll discuss about that further. And the release plan. For the release plan, each month you can have like each and every month you are going to have a release plan. Then the dates. Important dates. Important dates. What are the important dates? The important dates are we will get like your stand up, it might be 11 a.m. Sri Lankan time, right? Especially if it is a like time, you have to mention the time zone. It might be Sri Lankan time. Sometimes people are like IST, Indian Standard Time, whatever, right? It might be Australian time, it might be Europe time, it might be American Standard Time or Greenwich time. Different time zones are available in the world, so make sure to have this time properly with the time zone. At what is your time zone that you are speaking? If it is 11 a.m. in Sri Lanka, if it is 11 a.m. PST, it might be 11 a.m. AST, whatever, right? Different time zones, so make sure to have this time zone. If it is time, if it is a date, you can have like a generic date, like for the release demos, you can schedule like uh, every by 2 weeks, so you are sharing with 14th and 22nd 28th of each month. Now this is each month 5th, you are sharing in 5th of whatever the month, 5th of August, 5th of May, such kind of 5th, right? You are going to share it 5th. Now the next point is the delivery method. How you are going to deliver this communication for a daily stand-up delivery. Delivery you can have like stand-up in person chat, or it might be a video conference. Might be a video conference. Now, if it is like demonstration, it might be a presentation. The presentation might be virtual. Or it might be physical, whatever. Then release plan, it might be an email. You are sending an email. Now the next point, the goal. Why you are going to do this? Why you are going to do this communication? To have like update, discuss about project update and discuss about problems. Now this is our goal. The project stand up is to discuss about the update and the problems that you are facing, and demonstration to like provide a demonstration. Demo, it might be project rooming. Which kind of things are there? Then the release plan. What's the release plan? Why you are going to have this release plan? To prepare the release activities. These activities means what are the things that you are going to launch. The launch is preparing in here. Then the name and the email address. Responsible persons. Here there should be responsible by Scrum Master and it might be this is responsible by who, development team or Scrum Master. We'll get Scrum Master and development team. Email address, responsible. Now who is the responsible person? Email address, it might be abc@gmail.com, pqr@gmail.com, whatever your mail address. Now this should be updated whenever your Scrum Master is leave your company and new Scrum Master is adapt to your company. Project manager's responsibility is update this one soon as possible. Or it might be a group mail. It might be a group mail. Now for a group there might be an email, so you should add that group mail also in this project plan, communication plan. Now it's clear now what are the things that you are going to do and who is the responsible person, email address and phone number of the responsible. Now this person is in some another country, like I'm not sure, like I just add some another numbers, right? Some another country, and this person is right. Then this person is in India, some another country. This person in Sri Lanka. Likewise, individual responsible person, there should be a SPOC, single point of contact, or subject matter expert, SM, whoever the person, or it might be Scrum Master. Somehow there's a person who is direct contact, the single point of contact, or it might be a group mobile phone that is shared among your team. Somehow there should be a mobile phone number too. Now that's all. Very simple document, right? Very simple document is added to our discussion. Now why this is such kind of important? Why such kind of importance in here? Because we know at 11 a.m. we should ready for the startup meeting, and if it is not work, who is the responsible person, and we can directly contact that person. There might be some technical issues too, technical support, administration, it might be transportation, right? All of these are here. Under the transformation, the recipients are team, right? Team is here, and the frequency on requested. Sometimes you want to travel to some another place. Sometimes it might be transportation to another country. So on requested there should be the date, on demand, or on requested. As requested, or we want to create this date, or it might be a planned date, 21st of 22. Now this day I'm going to travel to another country. So at that day, frequency once. It's only one time. Then delivery, you should call. You should call, email, or there might be a ticketing tool. There are internal ticketing tools available in companies. Such kind of goal to travel another country, such kind of things are there. If now everyone is aware, in this date I'm not in Sri Lanka, I'm in some another country. Why I went? Because of this. and who is the responsibility to make my arrangements for the air ticketing, hotel reservations and everything. Who is the person from transportation and administration? Some other people are there. So everything is in this document, and it flows down continuously until your project is ending. If this is not in your company, I'm really appreciate yourself to initiate this one. Lot of problems occurred because of this communication or the communication issues or miscommunication. You are unaware. At the same time, you can have another sheet, leave plan. Now, this is another communication mechanism. Today, I'm not in the company due to some another wedding, so I have informed in here. Likewise, you can have like whatever the communication. I'm not strict to these, only these two, but you can add more and more according to your requirement. It depends on the company, it depends on the project, it depends on the nature of the project. But somehow, once it initiating, your company is starting the initial point, your communication plan should be there. It might be changed time to time, it might be frequently changed, it might be like change in each and every month. Sometimes, somehow, this mechanism should be there. Sometimes you might realize this is not worth much, but this is very, very important for a company. Now I'll just add a name for this. Communication plan. Now what can I do? I would like to share with the people here, right? The people ABC and people are here. Such kind of things we can do. Clear? Or you can create a link and share with them. I think you are aware with that also. Get a link, then you can copy the link. You can change the restrictions. If a team member who is joined recently and no responsibility at all, just for some sort of development, such kind of thing, then the responsibility is more than enough as a viewer. If it is a manager or scrum master, some person who is involved with the decision making, it might be a commenter or an editor. It depends on the responsibility or the person who is involved. So if you are a fresh graduate, you don't get upset if you just get viewer version, right? Don't get upset, because still you are in a worker level. But after 5 to 10 years, you will get decision makers position, definitely get some experience, then you will definitely get this editor version of this document. I think very clear about this stuff, why we want this communication plan, why we are creating such kind of document, and who is the responsibility, why we are doing these things, what are the disadvantages if we don't have such kind of things, what are the advantages by having these kind of things. I'm pretty sure you are clear about these activities well. So I would like to appreciate yourself to have just a small communication plan, create your own communication plan. I just give like 5 to 10 minutes, not more than that, just as a in-class activity, or just for a try. 5 to 10 minutes, it's more than enough. Just 5 minutes, I'll share this document with you. Please check the chat. I have shared the document with you. Try by yourself. to have a such document. You can edit even my document. I have given the responsibility as an editor, so you can edit. Anyone with this link can do any editing. You can do some small editing for this document. I will give 5 minutes around. It's 12:10 until 12:10. If you want to have a copy, just copy, download this document and do the modification. Or if you want to copy paste all the things here, you can copy paste, or you can download and use it. Feel free. The best possible is like having this kind of like Google Sheet or a 365 sheet. That's the best possible than the others. Okay. If you are facing any issue, let me know. In this hands-on experience, this is very important because this is subject like practical subject. This is not totally theory based on theories. Do you have any question you want to ask? Any question? Do you need to have any question on communication plan? This is very important. So if you have any questions, please ask. Then I can clear you. Okay. If you don't have any question, then we now it's like today's 7th week, so we have just another 3 weeks remaining. My plan is like to have more practical exposed to this project management. So project management is like depends on the tools that you are using, your techniques that you are using, and everything like science. But there's a practical art. This art can absorb, like it's inbuilt skill, but you can absorb, right? Some sort of like you can follow some. They are the Sibyl Victor singers, artists. I have seen like different places. It's absorbed, right? And I have seen like players in Sri Lanka recently, cricket players like bowling like Lasith Malinga. They absorb the skill, right? It's not the inbuilt skill. There's an absorb skill. It's an art, absorbing the art. So to absorb this project management as an art, you should follow the case studies, right? So I have there's a book for case studies. I'm really sure. Sorry, I can't do anything because of this restricted environment. You can share as it is. So what I have done is I just created one question for you. For each and every day we will discuss such question, right? We will discuss such question and understand in practical way. So please involve with me, because just speaking myself is not worth, because there's no right or wrong answers for these things. But basically acceptable answers are there. So I have shared one document with you. Please download that case study. uh, Today onwards we will do like 8, 9 and 10. Next 3 days we will do another 3 case studies, as well as practical approaches related to this, apart from the theory, unless it's just theory. So to get some sort of worth, we have to do some sort of small case study. And I will share, if you don't like to speak with me due to some reason, please answer in this sheet. I will share a sheet with you. Please do these things, then I can adjust you, because I don't want to push my thoughts, my views to you, because this is an art. It should be absorbed by yourself, right? It's your perception, right? It is, we can't tell this is correct, this is wrong, or this is incorrect, this is the optimum. As you learn, there are no silver bullets, right? And there's no magic beans in software industry. So your path, you should define your path. So it's very important. So I'll share one document with you. Please answer these questions in this document as an individual, or you can chat, or you can speak each other and come up with a solution, because management is not something doing like isolated. If the project managers are isolated, the project will get stuck. So project managers should speak with the others, have discussions, have chat, open with the others, friend with the others. Those qualities should be there as a project manager, right? So you can chat. Okay, let me share a Google Doc. If you like to speak with me, I'm really appreciate. I can adjust you, I can chat with you, and I can clear out you if anything is not there. But as per my experience, really speaking students are here. So I have created a document. Please write in there. I'm just telling anonymously typing, right? Even I'm not asking to like type your name even in there. Let me share that also. But is involved. I have shared one document with you. So next few days also we will do such kind of case studies. Then you can learn more and more things in related to this software project management, because science is okay, anyone can give science related stuff, but the important point is like having this art. So that's the point. So no one can uh, teach you the art. If you can't draw anything, if you can't play violin or a piano, it's really hard, because the music should be in yourself, the art, the designing skills should be in yourself. It's really hard to inject. Science can inject, so teach and do something. Project management is not fully based on science. It's not fully based on science. It's like 50-50 of science and art. So to grab this art, the best possible is learn the case studies, similar activities, something happened in historically, and adjust yourself to that situation and give the decision. And as a team, we can find out if there's anything missing, if anything should be added, then we can discuss accordingly. So kindly request you to have, like, if you don't like to speak, please write in the document. The answers is more than enough. The case study answers is more than enough. Then I can correct you, because if you are not telling anything, I can't correct, right? If you are not driving a vehicle, if you are just sitting and looking at, how can I know whether you can drive or not? I can't, right? If you are going too fast, then I can advise it's too fast, or if it is like very dangerous. Unless it's really hard to advise you. That's why I'm telling. So please make sure to write the answers in this Google Doc. It makes yourself more solid. Okay? If you have any questions, please ask related to today's discussion, and make sure to have, like, I'm here like another 10 minutes. You can utilize this 10 minutes. It's more than enough 10 minutes for this case study, because it's very simple case study, and we can wrap up the discussion. So start now. I'm giving like in class activities because I know if it is given for homework, students don't do. I have that experience. It's very rare situation students are doing homework. Usually they don't do. Even they can't remember what they have done in last week. That's the normal situation that I have learned from these last uh, few years, right, as a teacher. So that's why I'm motivating you to do in the class before leaving, because I'm pretty sure after leaving you don't do anything. You just have fun with your friends, Facebook chatting, watching movies and stuff. So please utilize this time. It's not lot, it's just 10 minutes. Now it's almost 9 minutes. So please utilize time. If you have any questions, I'm here. Please ask any question, uh, verbally or as an email or as a chat, or whatever the mechanism that you like to communicate. But it should be an effective communication, right? Right. I'm here. Please ask anything. Do you have any questions? Do you want anything clarified from me related to communication and the case study? Anything you want to clear? No, I think if you don't have like time in to do that activity now, so before the next week, please work on that. As a team, you can have a chat and you can adjust yourself as like to joy. Think this situation happens to you. Think this situation happens to you. Then that from that perspective onwards, you have to think. Now, this is a thinking style. No one can teach this thinking style, but we can observe that thinking style by doing these activities. Now, that's the main purpose of this project management. It might be information systems, it might be software engineering, information technology, it might be project management, it might be information management, it might be like different names are there, management information systems. Somehow each and every degree, each and every course is following this project management is mainly focused on this management skills to have a success project, because it's a responsibility of everyone. It's not the responsibility of just a project manager, but this project manager's responsibility is to drive the project successfully. So to focus on that, you might be a developer, you might be a project manager, who knows, who can give a guarantee, right? You might be a network engineer somehow, right? Not sure. You might be a software engineer somehow. Now it's your responsibility to understand the core concepts. Then no conflicts once you join to a company too. So if you don't have any questions, we can wrap up today's session. And thank you. And really sorry for that today morning. I just got some important work, which is I'm really sorry. I can't say I can't do. If it is something I can't do, I just adjust it. But today's situation, there's no option than letting you little bit time, but we'll cover this that 2 hours, like around 2 hours, right? 2.5, right? 2.5 near future, and we'll complete. Don't worry about that. I'm really sorry about that also. And happy learning, and please do that activity. Thank you for joining for the today's session.
Thank you, sir.
You're welcome.
Thank you very much, sir.
Welcome.